Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is your brother Ebrahim AlSayed. Alhamdulillah, I've just had the pleasure of completing recently the Productive Muslim Masterclass as part of the most recent cohort. And alhamdulillah, it opened my eyes to a lot of different things. And I want to just share three of those things today, inshallah, and encourage you all to take the course and benefit from its principles and its teachings. And so the first of the things that I learned is in order to infuse life into our day-to-day actions, we have to remember our why. Constantly remember our why and constantly have that intentionality that we're doing things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes we get caught up in our day-to-day actions, and this is something I fell into sometimes, where I would get focused on the what I'm doing rather than why I'm doing it. And so alhamdulillah, the Productive Muslim Masterclass focuses on these fundamental principles of why we exist, why we do things, and what our focus is, which is a God-centered reality. So that was a very impactful point for me, and it allowed me to structure a foundation for everything that I do in my life. The second thing was, mashallah, it had very practical recommendations and steps on how to become how to bear more fruit, how to do things that bear more fruit and have more barakah and more of the outcomes. And that comes in the form of very, very real pragmatic steps like energy management, or managing your sleep, or incorporating focus sessions into your day, or doing the the really important tasks in the times of the day where you have high energy. How do you find out when your high energy times are during the day? And alhamdulillah, it was really impactful for me. Especially as someone who didn't appreciate the hustle culture and the productivity culture and how you can maximize your efficiency, maximize your output. This kind of gave it a God-centered focus while still incorporating those practical tips. And finally, alhamdulillah, it reframed my thought process from a very rigid quote unquote carpenter mindset to a gardener mindset, something that's a bit more flexible, more understanding, and more real. Alhamdulillah, sometimes we get caught up in having goals, and for me it was having goals, and I need to have those outcomes, and if I don't have those outcomes, I get frustrated, I get disappointed, and I go through great lengths, even sometimes sacrificial, unhealthy lengths, to achieve those outcomes. But alhamdulillah, the Productive Muslim Masterclass allowed me to reincorporate that balance in a lot of what I do, and realize that it's not about the outcomes, it's about the journey, more about the process with which you achieve them, although the outcomes are important, and still recognizing that, but approaching our life as gardeners rather than as carpenters, so that we can have inshallah fruitful outcomes, and with the tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I highly recommend the course. These are just some of the things that impacted me greatly. I highly recommend the course, inshallah, with the next cohort. And I highly recommend that you explore and learn from some of the offerings for the Productive Muslim Company and the Productive Muslim Masterclass. Jazakallah khair for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.